Hello and welcome. Today I wanted to talk about a handful of different fragrances from Bath & Body Works that I wish they would bring back for this Christmas season. So we are going to go down memory lane together and talk about 13 discontinued fragrances from holiday pasts that were my favorites. Of course, this list doesn't cover all of the fragrances I wish that they would bring back, but it's definitely high up there on the ones I wish I would see again. So some of these fragrances are ones that I've had in my collection before that I wish they would bring back so I could get a restock. And then some of them are also fragrances that I've never smelled before that I've seen pictures of or heard about from the past that I wish I didn't miss out on. So it's going to be a combination of both of those categories. Also, if you're brand new to my channel, then welcome. My name is Melissa. I used to be a part-time manager at a Bath & Body Works for about 6 years, and now I'm here on YouTube talking all things Bath & Body Works. So if that is a topic that interests you, then don't forget to subscribe down to my channel below. So without further ado, let's get started. I'm also going to go in chronological order. So my wish list starts in the year 2013. I started working at Bath & Body Works in the summer of 2015. So this would have been 2 Christmases before I started working there. So just like they do now, they still were doing like a holiday traditions collection where it always included winter candy apple and vanilla bean Noel, and then usually twisted peppermint as well. But the year 2013's holiday traditions had 2 fragrances that we don't see anymore, and it's those 2 that I wish that they would bring back from 2013, and that is Merry Marshmallow Kiss as well as Cranberry Twinkle. I really liked the art style that they used for the packaging back in 2013 and kind of the late 2000s. I feel like now they're going the more sophisticated route. Sometimes they add in elements of whimsical, which I really like, but I feel like back then it was a little bit more cartoony and playful, and I feel like the demographic that they were selling towards was just a little bit younger than now. I feel like they're going the more fancy route, which I like both, but I think this one was more fun. So Merry Marshmallow Kiss, that's the first one I wish that they would bring back. This one is a joyful blend of fluffy marshmallow, gilded pear, and winter jasmine, whipped with white amber and sparkling bergamot. And this was back in the day when they had top, middle, and base notes. So let me read the whole description of all of the notes. The top notes were luminous pear, sparkling bergamot, succulent raspberry. The middle notes were white velvet, jasmine, creamy paper whites, and osmanthus petals. So it had some floral kind of in the middle there. And the dry notes are white amber, glowing cedar, fresh tree moss, and vanilla extract. So it's interesting because when they do the notes breakdown, I feel like they're describing further what marshmallow smells like. So based on what the notes sound like to me, even though this is a marshmallow scent, I feel like it was quite a crafted blend of a bunch of other scents as well, making it more of a holistic kind of fragrance instead of just like it smells like sweet marshmallow and that's it. So that's intriguing to me. I wish I could get a chance to smell that one. And then the other one from this collection was Cranberry Twinkle, and this one says a playful blend of holiday cranberry, snowy freesia, and pomegranate layered with creamy sandalwood and iced winter violets. Whenever a fragrance has sandalwood as a base note, I tend to like it. I know Marshmallow Pumpkin Latte is that way. It just kind of adds like a sweet depth to it, which is nice. Top notes: black currant buds, Fiji apple, strawberry cream, passion fruit, blood orange. So some really great fruity notes on the top. Mid notes are pink raspberry, wild freesia, iris, frozen violets, jasmine, and lily of the valley. And then the base notes are velvet musk, fluffy vanilla, creamy sandalwood, and white amber. I'm getting the feeling that Cranberry Twinkle was the grandparent fragrance to Winterberry Wonder. Some of the similarity in the notes are they both have apple, they both have like a whipped vanilla base, and they both have some sandalwood. And then of course cranberry is that common connector. So I'm wondering if those 2 are in any way related, or if the reason we haven't seen Cranberry Twinkle is because we now have Winterberry Wonder every single year, and that kind of fills that gap. Okay, I've got a lot of fragrances for 2015. Now this is where the nostalgia for me starts to happen because this was the first Christmas I worked at Bath & Body Works. And so I was just starting to dabble in trying fragrances out for myself and discovering what I liked. And I didn't really know what I liked. I would just smell things and think, oh, that's nice. And I kind of knew that I liked sweet stuff. Like I said, Marshmallow Pumpkin Latte was kind of like my very first fragrance that I really identified with. At this point, I was just starting my collection and was definitely more hesitant to trying new fragrances. So I do have a lot of regrets because I have strong memories of seeing these ones come in shipment, seeing them on the shelves and selling them to other customers. So it's too bad that I can't just go to my past myself and tell her to stock up on all these fragrances because one day you're gonna want them. And the first one that comes to mind is called Jingle All The Way. This one, I love the packaging of the holiday traditions. This was the first time I got myself some Twisted Peppermint from this collection, and the packaging is just 10 out of 10 for me. So cute. This one was very elusive to me. I thought long and hard about all of the other ones, but this one is the one that got away. So this has iced clementine, sparkling snowflakes, North Pole vanilla, holiday poppies, and blue spruce. I love the note of blue spruce. I love that cold, crispy pine tree smell. So I believe I did briefly smell this one at the time, but it's been such a long time ago, I don't really remember what it smells like. If I were to pinpoint a comparison of what this smells like based on my very vague memories paired with the list of notes, I feel like it's a combination of winter citrus wreath meets fresh sparkling snow. If you can imagine those two together, I feel like it's somewhere kind of in that category. So I believe that was a part of their original launch of the holiday traditions. And what happened is, to create some hype later on in the season, they often would add one more fragrance that matched all of the packaging of the holiday traditions, like later in December, maybe to match a sale or around Black Friday, just to kind of create some hype and excitement with a new release during the holiday season. And that is what happened with this fragrance that I wish they would bring back, is that it was a later holiday release, and that is Red Velvet Cheer. This one's packaging was cute because they had the holiday traditions shower gel and lotion packaging, but for the fine fragrance mist, they made it look like a little Santa Claus suit, so super cute and a fun idea. This one had notes of red velvet frosting, Christmas citrus, festive apple, hot cocoa, and winter woods. Once again, I did get a chance to smell this one, but it's been so long that my memory is failing me a little bit. From what I remember, it wasn't like a super strong chocolatey scent, like red velvet is normally just like dye and cocoa powder, and oftentimes people use cream cheese frosting. I feel like it was a little bit on the cream cheese side. It was just kind of like vanilla-y, slightly chocolate gourmand, and the Christmas citrus and festive apple really helped tone it down and bring a little bit of fruitiness element to it. But man, even just the packaging alone makes me wish that I could go on a time travel mission just to get some of those fragrances. So this is the last 2015 fragrance I wish they would bring back, and for some reason in my memory, this one is really strong, as I remember selling this one to customers a lot. Like I said, I was kind of a newer employee. I'd only been working there for a few months at this point, almost half a year, but not quite. So I was really practicing how I performed on the sales floor and was really practicing getting comfortable selling to customers. And I just remember this one being one that I would uncover and sell to customers frequently. I'm not sure why, but this one is called Frosted Winter Woods, and it's a beautiful green packaging. This was a part of their kind of version of a 2015 snowy collection, and I'll put the rest of the collection over there so that way you can see the accompanying fragrances in that collection. But this one had top notes of sparkling orange, Italian mandarin, clove, and pimento leaf. Middle notes of black pepper, pine needles, bay leaf, and cinnamon stick. So there was really some interesting earthy and outdoorsy notes that I feel like Bath & Body Works doesn't use as often in their fragrances nowadays. And then the base notes were velvety fir balsam, cedarwood, and vanilla bean. So I was doing some research on this fragrance when I was preparing for this video, and I found a review back in 2015 of someone. They had tried it and wrote up their thoughts on it, and pretty much what they said is that this is mainly a citrus meets woodsy fragrance. And according to this reviewer, she said that it's mainly a citrusy woodsy combo and it dries super sweet. So I'm wondering if that's the vanilla coming into play. But I just feel like that's something I would like. Normally I'm not a peppery or musky or outdoorsy kind of person, but when it's pine trees or cedar wood involved, I tend to like those ones a little bit better. And if there's citrus and vanilla, I know I'm gonna like it. Okay, now the year is 2016, and once again we're back at it with the Holiday Traditions collection. So from this year, I wish that they would bring back the Gingerbread Latte fragrance. Now, I know that they've had a couple of renditions of gingerbread fragrances, so they've had the Gingerbread Latte, and then another one that comes to mind is the Spiced Gingerbread. I love that fragrance as well. I didn't add the Spiced Gingerbread to this list because it's for selfish reason only. I have a lot of it still left over, and the Gingerbread Latte I have none, so I kind of pick and choose, like, okay, if I could have one return, it would be the Gingerbread Latte. For that reason, it's just based solely on the whole that's in my collection. So Gingerbread Latte actually was originally in 2016, but then we had a little treat and I missed out a second time. In 2020, they brought it back, and apparently it was the same fragrance. They had some different notes listed, but man, I didn't get it on either year. I don't know, it was COVID year and I don't know what I was doing. I think it might have been an online exclusive and that might be part of why I didn't get it. I can't really remember, but man, where was I in 2016 and 2020 to miss it twice? But the 2016 version version had notes of Santa's gingerbread, frosted pear, brown sugar, vanilla latte, and whipped cream. I'm noticing a lot of these fragrances have pear in them, which is really interesting because they're not normally like pear scents. So I feel like they used pear a lot to kind of blend things together and make it like a festive fruity fragrance. So that was 2016. So the newer version, 2020, said it had warm spiced blend of Santa's gingerbread, frosted pear, and brown sugar. So pretty much they just omitted listing the vanilla latte and the whipped cream notes. So just as I was mentioning before how they would kind of later on in the season add one more fragrance to a collection, that is what this next one is. This is 2016 Holiday Traditions Sugar Plum Swirl. And this is the first fragrance on my list. I actually have some in my collection to share with you. So I have it in the full-size body lotion, and then I have some little travel sizes of body lotion and fine fragrance mist. Here's a closer look at the body lotion, and on the back it says, "It's time for your favorite holiday traditions. Experience a magical Christmas with these joyous scents made with love. Oh, what fun." And then the fragrance notes are juicy sugar plum, holly berry, fluffy meringue, sweet tangerine, and sugared musk. This one, at least of the sugar plum scents that I have smelt, is my favorite. When iced sugar plum came out last year, or whatever it was called, I wished that it smelled more like this. This to me actually smells like sugar plums. It has a little bit more of that frosty forest smell. It's definitely more of a fruity heavy, but it's still sugared and sweet. Something that I don't like is when they say sugared musk. I feel like that's a throwaway note, like sugared musk, like that doesn't really add anything to help me understand what it smells like. But ironically, I feel like this does have a sugared musk smell, but I think it might just be their way of saying there's like a fluffy vanilla-y base note that makes it so sweet and creamy and just really nice. Also, a fun little thing to notice is how they say Holiday Traditions established 1990. I think that's cute whenever they add Bath & Body Works birth year on there. Here's a closer look at the travel size body lotion. It looks literally just like a small version of the big lotion. And then here is the travel size fine fragrance mist. I think that also the packaging for the mists were super pretty. It's like a perfect blend of being simplistic and straightforward, but still glitzy and festive. So this next fragrance I wish they would bring back is from 2017, and it was kind of like, I don't know, 2017 was a weird time for Bath & Body Works. I feel like it was a really good time. Like they made so many good collections, so many good fragrances that were unique. I feel like they made something for everybody back then, and nothing ever felt too redundant. Like even within the same small time frame, I feel like they reinvent the wheel. Like when they made Among the Clouds, I feel like they just kept doing like fluffy vanilla, cotton candy, pink berry thing over and over, and it just kind of got tiresome. But back in 2017, I feel like whenever they released something new, it actually was super new and like a completely new concept. It was very experimental year for them. With that though, I feel like they made some collections that were kind of off the wall, maybe a little bit off brand for what they normally do in my opinion, and it was just kind of weird. But this next fragrance is from one of those kind of weird collections that when they released it, I was just like, but why? But the scent I want back from that collection is called Marshmallow Magic. So this body oil is the only thing in my collection that I have to prove that it ever existed, and it's seen better days. I do not like the way that they package body oils. The stickers of the labels always start to warp if they ever get a little bit of oil on them. So that's what ended up happening with my bottle here. It's super oily on the outside and the sticker's trying to come off, so not my favorite in terms of design. So they purposely had like layers going on. So I guess you could kind of like mix it together, kind of like a salad dressing or something, and it would like make it kind of milky, and then eventually it'll just separate again anyway. So it's supposed to make it look cool and like have different colors going on. And also what I didn't like about it too is because if you were to not mix it really, really well, it would come out kind of like an astringent texture. So this isn't my favorite product form either, but the smell is so good. I love this fragrance. It has notes of vanilla cream, crisp lavender, and marshmallow musk. It's one of my favorite marshmallow fragrances of all time, and I think it's because it's paired with that lavender. It's very similar to the lavender marshmallow candle, but the vanilla musk really brings in like a rich, almost marshmallow fireside kind of feel to it without being too smoky. So super gourmand, super good. Very similar to it was Dream in the Sky, if you remember that fragrance. I feel like that might be the closest one they've made to it, but this one's even better because it's a little bit sweeter. So a couple couple things were weird about this collection. At least my store got this in really late. It was kind of like an afterthought, almost supposed to be like a New Year's collection kind of. But New Year's at Bath & Body Works is weird because they do semi-annual sale right after Christmas. So I feel like that time kind of gets glossed over because they're just too busy clearancing fragrances rather than making new collections that match a theme for January. It was kind of weird that they made a new collection at this time because it just immediately went clearance afterwards. So the other fragrances of this collection were Electric Blue Sky, which was kind of like a fresh, crisp, outdoorsy fragrance. And then the third fragrance was Champagne Toast. I'm like, why would you do this? Even back then, I was so sick of Champagne Toast repackages. The other weird thing that I couldn't quite wrap my head around about this collection was that it wasn't just a fragrant body care collection, but they also kind of made a counterpart that was an efficacious body care where it's supposed to be more for your skin rather than the fragrance. And so they had like a line of efficacious items as well that were still matching this kind of packaging style. I think the collection was called the Greatest Glow collection. So they had some body scrubs, like they had a mint scrub and a salt scrub and then a walnut scrub, and it was supposed to be like the 3 levels of exfoliation. They had shapeable soap, they had body butters, they had these weird oils. I don't know, like I said, it just felt really experimental and like it didn't do very well perhaps, and they just kind of like clearanced it right away. And these body oils, they were 75% off at the time in my store, and we had an entire cabinet full of just the body oils. So I feel like it might have ended up being a flop. At least where I'm at, it felt like it was a flop. So but for me, Marshmallow Magic, that fragrance is so good. I wish that they would make like a normal body care line of that scent. So this one I'm putting as a Christmas or a holiday scent because it was out during Christmas time. Hey, you wanna come up? Oh my pumpkins! So this next fragrance was technically on the shelves during the holiday season and Christmas time, but it actually was released fall of 2017. So it was a part of their efficacious body care line they had for essential oils and wellness. And the fragrance I wish would come back from that collection is called Ginger and Cardamom, and it's perfect for the holiday season. So like I said, this collection featured all of their fragrances based on essential oils. So they didn't really have notes, rather the fragrance was just based on the pure essential oil. And then the other marketing kind of talking point they had about this collection was that the moisturizing ingredient in these products was olive oil. So 2017, I feel like that was their most experimental year, and with that experimenting, they had some different wellness collections, and that's just what this kind of was. And it was in the fall it was released, but they had it all through the winter as well. So I'm lucky, and I still have quite a bit of this product in my collection still, and it still smells super fresh even though it's on the older side. This says, experience the power of oils. Natural ginger essential oil invigorates the senses, and European olive oil nourishes the skin. So when this first came out, I thought it was going to smell a lot like Energy Orange Ginger from their aromatherapy collection, but it smells so much better than that. It has like a sweet, rich, spicy component to it. It just smells like warm chai or cider. It's perfect for fall and winter. To me, it almost smells like gingerbread, but that's probably because it has pure ginger in it as well. But it's almost coming off as slightly molassesy as well, like a little bit of sweetness. So good. They need to bring back this scent. So I have it in the body cream. Here's what it looks like in the moisturizing body wash, which I still have some of. Here's what the travel size looks like. And I feel like the packaging doesn't really match this fragrance very well. I'm not really sure what they were thinking with the fluorescent teal. I feel like that doesn't really match the collection or the fragrance, but I get the natural wood. Like, that makes sense, but yeah, I don't know what was going on there, but here it is in the travel size body cream and the travel size moisturizing body wash. I have it in a body oil. In fact, I still have 2 body oils. I actually have a lot of this product because it went clearance, 75% off at a semi-annual sale, and I bought a whole bunch of it because I knew I didn't want to live without it anytime soon, so that's why I have so much. I couldn't find the mist. I know I have one. I think my mom actually has it because she's the one that mainly uses this fragrance. So I think that's where that is. But I have a mist somewhere. And then I also have this, of course, when you get oil on stuff, it peels. But this is like a body balm. Not this fall, but last fall when they brought back Comfort Vanilla Patchouli, they had an oil and I think also the cinnamon sandalwood. It's like a body oil except in a solidified waxy balm kind of texture. Triple oil body balm with olive oil. It's almost like a lip balm except for your skin. So it's like this hard compressed wax texture. But such a good smell, perfect to pair with gingerbread fragrances, and it's just so warm and cozy while still being natural. Last fragrance from 2017, and just like the gingerbread latte, we were actually thrown a bone and they remade this fragrance for 2020, and that is Coconut Mint Drop. I love the original packaging for Coconut Mint Drop, and mint and coconut are two of my favorite notes. So when this fragrance was first released, I was so excited. Once again, with 2017 being super experimental, I feel like it was really hard to follow along because they just made so many different collections. It was just like a lot to keep up with. So they had their holiday traditions, which was their naughty or nice theme that year, and they had the standard 3, Twisted Peppermint, Winter Candy Apple, Vanilla Bean, Noel. Then at the same time, they had a collection that was called Shimmer and Cheer, and that collection was more of a pastel Christmas theme, and that is where the Coconut Mint Drop came from. It was also the debut for the fragrance Snowy Morning, which was like a lavender meets mistletoe kind of fragrance. And then for some reason, they had Winter Candy Apple and Vanilla Bean, Noel also in that collection, even though they were already in the Naughty or Nice collection. I don't know, it was really confusing. So that is where Coconut Mint Drop came from. Here is all I have left of the original packaging. This is the body cream, and it's almost gone. It's probably a third left. It has notes of white coconut, iced peppermint, and winter musk. It's way more creamy than Twisted Peppermint. I feel like Twisted Peppermint really packs a punch. It's super strong and pepperminty, like it'll clear your sinuses if you're feeling stuffy that day. But this one is just so much more gentle and sweet and snowy, and it's just so pretty. Once again, with researching online, I saw that someone online said that this smells identical to the scented My Little Pony. I'll put a picture of it over here, but they were saying that this Coconut Mint Drop smells identical to that scented My Little Pony, and it's funny because looking at the My Little Pony 2, it even is like the same color scheme. So I wonder if Bath & Body Works was pulling some inspiration from My Little Pony that year. When they re-released the fragrance in 2020, it had the same exact fragrance notes, so no changes there. So we're starting to enter a little bit more modern territory. If you've been shopping or collecting Bath & Body Works in the last 5 years, you're probably going to be a little bit more familiar with this set of fragrances. I think the most discussed fragrance that people want to see a return of is Hot Cocoa and Cream from 2018. I've heard rumors that Hot Cocoa and Cream is coming back, so I haven't confirmed that yet, but there is definitely some speculation with some factual evidence to kind of back that up. So I'm hoping and waiting to hear news that Hot Cocoa and Cream will be back in a full-size body care, or even travel size would be okay with me. But here is a closer look at what I have from my original Hot Cocoa and Cream collection from Holiday Traditions of 2018. This was the first time that we had seen it in a body care. So I've got that in the body cream and the fine fragrance mist, and on the back it says Hot Cocoa and Cream, cozy up to Christmas memories of warm cocoa by the fire. Has notes of creamy cocoa, mini marshmallows, and vanilla musk. It smells just like the candle. It's so perfect. So like I said, that was its body care debut in 2018. Then in 2019, we saw it again in full sizes in the Land of Sweets collection, as you can see pictured over here. And then 2 other years we saw it only in minis. So in 2020, we had like these little woodland critter minis. And then in 2021, we had the little pink ones that were like with the ice skaters on it. So we did see it a couple of times. It kind of was phased out for some reason. But as I said, this is probably the #1 fragrance I see the most people saying that they wish they'd bring this fragrance back. And I agree. Let's hope that this is the year. 2 more fragrances, both from 2019. So the Land of Sweets. I honestly want this whole collection to come back. I mean, they had some repeat where Winter Candy Apple was in that collection, and that does come back every year, so I don't have strong feelings about that, of course, but they had the Hot Cocoa and Cream in that collection. Another really good one was that Lemon Snowdrop fragrance. I wish that would come back, but most of all, I wish that Santa's Blueberry Shortbread would come back. That was my favorite from the whole collection. As you can see here, I still have my trio of it that I use sparingly every Christmas since 2019, so here's what it looks like in the fragrance mist. It's got that confetti packaging. The body creams were so much cuter of this collection, but I ended up with a body lotion. I think they sold out by the time I purchased some. But honestly, I'm thankful because I feel like the body lotions last longer than the creams. The creams tend to go yellow, so my lotion is still doing really good, as you can see. And I love this so much. I love that you can see the little houses of the Christmassy village down below. That is so cute. So reading on the back, this says, Santa's Blueberry Shortbread, baked blueberry bliss in Santa's sweet shop makes this the most wonderful time of year. Baked blueberry, crumbled shortcake, and whipped cream. Now this one has kind of that rich gourmand graham cracker crust base that I really love in a fragrance. Kind of similar to the wild berry jam donut or the berry waffle cone, but so much better than both of those scents. It's funny because blueberry shortbread doesn't normally scream Christmas to me when I think of like what smells like Christmas, but now that I've been using this every year and using it sparingly and cherishing it, now it's starting to smell more and more like Christmas to me when I smell it. Oh, the memories. I think this one, besides the hot cocoa and cream, I've seen a lot of people saying that they agree with me. This needs to come back. Last but not least, I wish that Bath & Body Works would bring back the fragrance from 2019 Holiday Traditions, Christmas Cocoa and Mint. I'm gonna go out there and say it that I even enjoy this one more than hot cocoa and cream, even though I love hot cocoa cream as well. Once again, with those late releases. So this one wasn't a part of the initial Holiday Traditions release, and it was brought out later to create some holiday hype later on in the season. I actually picked this one up at the semi-annual sale following Christmas, and I'm so glad I did. This one has notes of decadent milk chocolate, thin mint cookies, and marshmallow fluff. And on the back it says rich Christmas cocoa mingled with refreshing mint warms the soul and sparkles the senses. I love this shade of green, that kind of minty pastel green a little bit, but still vibrant. And if you look closely, you can see little polar bears. That is so adorable. It's definitely a chocolate first, mint second fragrance, and I really like that. It smells just like Girl Scout cookie thin mints or like Andy's chocolate mints. I love both of those, so this is perfect. I have it in the body cream. Here's a closer look at the fine fragrance mist, once again with the polar bears inside the mugs of hot chocolate. So cute. And there he is in the shower gel. So how did you enjoy that trip on the time travel machine? Christmas time is definitely a good time for reminiscing and nostalgia, and seeing all of these Christmas fragrances that I love from the past really puts me in like a sentimental mood. Definitely be sure to let me know down in the comments below, which fragrance do you wish Bath & Body Works would bring back? Let's start a discussion and reminisce together, and I will see you in my next video. Until next time, bye.